end-of-year blessing ceremony in Hualien includes the gratitude of a stroke patient's family. Taichung Tzu Chi volunteers bring members of a class to the Tzu River for a special cleanup event. I'm Sean Scanlon. This is Dai Headlines. Hualien started Tzu Chi community year-end blessing ceremonies today. A man suffered a stroke in Myanmar. With the help of Tzu Chi, his family was able to get through this difficult time. Here's more.
Tzu Chi provides international relief and family care. They saved life and the family.
In December 2019, Lin Ziyan's husband suffered a sudden stroke in Myanmar, which severely damaged his brainstem. The family was facing huge financial pressure for treatment. It was fortunate that there were Tzu Chi people to help them tide this difficult time.
Including the air mattress, electric medical bed, wheelchair, oxygen and suction machine. Even though it is all second-hand, it is really a life-saving device for us.
Life is impermanent, and when you are grateful at the end of the year, one must stop to grasp the present moment.
Do it until you die. Don't die before you do it. This is a blessing. If it is not done, it's no use. If you don't do it, you will lose it.
You can know blessings and cherish blessings and then create the blessings of your own in the future. At the same time, when you have enough energy, you can also help people in need.
Lighting up this heart lamp and praying sincerely, there is a call for everyone to become a noble person and enrich other people's lives. The pandemic in the United States led to shelter-in-place orders. Most team-of-free clinics have been stopped, though phone calls and medication continues to be sent to patients with chronic disease. Take a look.
Hola, José. Usted fue a la clínica comunitaria de Tzu Chi. Hablamos sobre sus medicinas hace 2 meses. ¿Cómo está usted?
The love and care expressed by the video conference call cannot be stopped by COVID-19. Under the pandemic, many people have made changes to their daily life. Despite that, with the well, one can still do a lot.
En un dado caso que yo no recibiera la medicina,
If you did not mail the medications, my illness would have worsened.
que ver los medios de cómo lograr, porque si no
I'm worried that under the pandemic, Tzu Chi Free Clinic once in 3 months has been stopped. We miss that the most. Everyone thinks the same way. They help us undergo checkups for our eyes and teeth. Since we do not have medical insurance, these services are much needed. Many clinics are not open. Most importantly, they do not have medical insurance or money. Their work and life are unstable. If they do not have medications, there will be a big disaster.
Under the pandemic, TIMA has adjusted its way of caring, providing concrete and spiritual support. The virus did not stop people from expressing their care.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Chile visited a nursing home where residents' retirement funds can't cover living expenses. To help, volunteers donated rice and food so they have enough to eat.
Nelson uses a wheelchair to get around because he often falls down when he tries to walk.
I am his cousin and his only relative. In the past, he lived by himself, but the place was really bad, legally falling apart.
When his pant legs are pulled up, scars mark Nelson's legs from his falls. Under these circumstances, Nelson was placed in a nursing home, but his retirement fund is not enough to pay for his stay there.
His retirement fund is not enough to cover his room and board, but there is someone here to take care of him, and the room is based on how much they can afford to pay. This room looks okay, nice and organized.
There are a total of 14 seniors living at the care home, and 3 of them do not have the means to pay for their room. While waiting for their government subsidy to come in, they scrimp and save to get by. The week after the initial visit, Tzu Chi volunteers visited once more and brought adult diapers and 50,000 pesos for Nelson.
Someone told me about Tzu Chi and said I can call them if I need help. I called and you really came and helped us. Thank you for the diapers and cash. It will be a tremendous support for us, and it means he can receive better care. God bless you.
Volunteers also donated 90 kilograms of rice and 5 boxes of spring rolls to the care center.
Thank you so much for the donation. These items will be very helpful to the seniors. This is the first time we have received a donation. No one has helped them out before.
With Tzu Chi's love and care, these seniors may feel loved in the days ahead.
In Tianjin, China, Tzu Chi volunteers distributed warmth along with Jingsa aphorisms and Dharma Master Zheng Yin's consolation letters to more than 100 families in need. Among the aid recipients is a grandma who pasted consolation letters from past years on her wall.
Despite the freezing temperatures, city volunteers hold placards, hoping that they can provide people support in the cold winter. Drinking ginger tea while waiting for the distribution, the grandma shares that she has put up the master's consolation letters on her wall.
I asked my grandson to read the letter to me. My grandson said that he has memorized the letter. We are blessed. You are blessed. Look at how kind you are. Although it is cold outside, we feel that in this small space, we are filled with love. If we bless each other and interact with love, life will be fortunate.
A resident who's shivering wants to take to the stage and express her thoughts.
7 years ago, in the winter, I came into contact with Tzu Chi, the big family with love. In the past, my husband was sick and my children went to school, so that the pressure was on me. Tzu Chi's home visits and their care has provided me with spiritual support.
Meanwhile, single mother Sun Yongjing, who's from a low-income household, decided to donate her $77 supply card back to Tzu Chi.
I am very touched that my mother can do this. After I grow up and after I have money, I won't spend it on useless places. I'll donate it for people in the mountainous regions.
In the two aid distributions, volunteers have given more than 100 families supplies that come with their best wishes.
The fourth wave of the pandemic happened in Hong Kong at the end of November. Tzu Chi Hong Kong chapter rushed to deliver supplies including masks, gloves, protective clothing to 8 different units.
喺今年年中嘅時間呢，雖然間疫情就係和緩咗啦，但係上人呢就憂慮呢，亦都會唔會有新嘅一波爆發嘅時間呢？我哋海外嘅分會呢，有冇足夠嘅物資去應對呢個疫情？所以立即就採購咗好多一啲係防禦功能好好嘅物資啦。咁就係依家係香港就第4波疫情嘅時間呢，咁啊啱啱好啦，呢批物資可以應用到，就送俾係8間機構。
The fourth wave of pandemic has stressed out many Hong Kong people. Tzu Chi volunteers rushed to distribute anti-epidemic supplies to different institutions. The Home for the Blind specially sent a letter of gratitude to Tzu Chi.
Of course, we need these desperately. During the pandemic, we need a lot of gloves, masks, and sanitizing items every day. Thank you, Tzu Chi.
When the families of the elderly in the nursing home went there to visit, they used to wear raincoats. But now they have better protection.
These items are very useful, no matter to our medical staff or our staff. These are actually very helpful.
同埋都可以俾啲屋企人啊過嚟探嗰陣時，都可以着住嚟探佢哋咯，咁樣。
5,000 medical shoe covers, 16,000 pairs of gloves, and more than 1,200 protective clothing were delivered in time, helping to build a safe and loving protective net in the community.
Central Vietnam has suffered from 9 typhoons since October of this year. Beginning November, Tzu Chi volunteers from Ho Chi Minh City paid a visit to survey damages, conduct a 2-day financial aid distribution to families in need.
Tzu Chi volunteers from Ho Chi Minh City head to 2 provinces in central Vietnam, which were severely devastated by typhoons during monsoon season. Volunteers saw marks left behind by the disaster and residents who have been flooded for a whole month.
When the flooding wasn't high, they'd hide over here, and when the water levels rose, they'd hide over there on top.
After the damage surveys were completed, volunteers decided to help them financially. Thus, in early December, the volunteers revisited Hualien province and worked with the local Taiwanese Business Association to host the distribution for 3,800 families.
I've lived here for 6 years, so I know why it's available and where the items Tzu Chi needs are located. I know where to get them, so this I feel is my obligation to help.
This amount of money is so much in my life. I never thought I'd receive this much money. It can help me solve many problems, including eating and buying everyday items.
I'm so happy to have received this money of blessings because my family is poor, and after the flooding disaster, we are even worse off. With this money, I don't have to worry about transportation fees when I go to dialysis.
Due to pandemic safety measures, normally there would have been more Tzu Chi volunteers on hand. But thankfully, local volunteers were able to come lend support, and the 2 days of aid distribution were completed successfully.
My wife and I have participated in the 2 days of events and have received so much in return. We have felt our contribution to society. We have seen how the volunteers care for the disaster victims and have planned the event in detail. They have really given the recipients love, and that's something we need to learn.
I've seen the volunteers work hard and give selflessly. They are not doing things lightly. It's serious business.
This affinity with central Vietnam due to the many typhoon disasters will sure continue on despite the end of the distribution.
In Taichung, Tzu Chi volunteers brought members of a parent-child class to the Pha River for a cleanup event. A total of 153 kilograms of rubbish were collected. Take a look.
Parents and children hold hands and head to the Pha River. Each of them had a big plastic bag in their hands and started picking up rubbish along the way. The most common rubbish in this area are cigarette butts and disposable plastic cups. Many parents brought their children to attend this river cleanup activity, teaching them through their own actions.
In our daily lives, we might think that buying a cup of drink or a meal box using disposable items is nothing big, but as a matter of fact, it has a heavy burden on our environment.
A total of 150 people participated in the cleanup event. Within 4 hours, they've collected 153 kilograms of rubbish, with many of them being cigarette butts. In fact, these cigarette butts have a severe impact on the river ecosystem.
How many fishes can one cigarette butt kill if it's immersed in the river? One cigarette butt can kill 20 fishes.
I feel very happy today being able to pick up all the trash from the riverbed. Ever since the last lesson, I have been eagerly waiting for this day to come.
Loving our planet is not only a slogan, but it's a way of life. We need to practice it in our daily lives so that our environment is able to return to its original state.
In Zhanghua's mountainous regions, there's a care recipient who is mentally challenged. She has 3 children, currently lives with her youngest daughter. Tzu Chi volunteers have been caring for this family for years, recently cleaning their home for a more comfortable living space.
Miscellaneous items pile up in the kitchen, and there are old clothes on the floor that it is hard for one to walk. Volunteers work quickly to put the clothes in the bag. On the other side, other volunteers are moving damaged furniture. Ms. Jian, whose husband passed away years ago, lives with her youngest daughter. Her living environment is so messy that volunteers and neighbors have come to help with cleanup.
After cleaning out the garbage, they can live in a clean environment. This way, there won't be a foul odor.
I am very grateful to Tzu Chi brothers and sisters. We hope that after the cleanup, her life can improve.
The volunteers have spent years asking Miss Jen for permission, and finally she said yes.
She is mentally challenged, so is her oldest daughter and granddaughter. We might think something is garbage, but in their mind, they think that they might need these items one day.
As volunteers clean up the environment, they also console the youngest daughter, who is 21 years old. She has dropped out of school and stays home all day.
In the daytime, let's not stay home looking at our smartphone. Go out and enjoy the sunshine. If you want to go back to study next year, we can help you.
After volunteers have cleaned up the place, Miss Jen and her daughter can live more safely and comfortably.
In early December, a fire broke out in an apartment in Taipei City's Nehu district. After the fire, the house was a mess, with Tzu Chi volunteers pitching in to clean up.
A fire has caused this apartment on the 6th floor to be scorched black. An elderly woman who was living here was choked by the smoke and rushed to the hospital.
My mother shouted my name. When I rushed upstairs, flames were seen coming out from the apartment, so I carried my mother and rushed downstairs.
After the fire, debris was seen everywhere in the house. 20 Tzu Chi volunteers head over to help clean up the house.
The whole house was filled with rubbish and many other unwanted items. We've never cleaned up so many debris before, but wherever there are people in need, we'll head over to help.
Volunteers dismantled the furniture and packed them in bags. The damaged pipes and wires were also redone. The owner's friend, who specializes in plumbing and wiring, came to help right away.
He's just like my big brother. I'm able to help out, so I came immediately to help reduce the plumbing and wiring.
With a team effort from everyone, they made great progress. Within a day, the whole house was almost completely cleaned up. Accidents always occur unexpectedly, but volunteers were the first to provide care and assistance, calming the hearts and minds of the affected residents.
In Kedah, Malaysia, a fire broke out in an apartment where the owner collected recyclables for a living. Firefighters were able to control it by spraying water from the windows. The volunteers heading over later to help with the cleanup. Here's more.
The walls and ceiling were scorched black by the fire. Recyclable items were stored inside and outside the house. Homeowner Bong Kui Sen relies on picking up recyclable materials for a living. These items aided the combustion of the fire.
Collecting recyclable materials is my work. I need to earn money so that I can continue living.
The amount of recyclable materials he collected filled 2 rooms, kitchen, and also the living room. The items piled up is almost as high as the ceiling. Therefore, firefighters were unable to enter his house.
To ensure the safety of his neighbors, the local assemblyman has contacted Tzu Chi for assistance. 30 volunteers spent 2 days helping Bong clean his house.
It's good that all the recyclable materials have been cleaned out. Previously, it was really smelly. His shelf was placed here, so I can open my door. When the wind blows, the foul smell will blow over.
After the volunteers' cleaning efforts, the house finally has a new look. The neighbors also do not complain anymore, as everyone's health is insured.
Dr. Ye Ming-shen is a traditional Chinese medicine doctor specializing in cancer at the Dalian Tzu Chi Hospital. Past 20 years, he has helped many numerous cancer patients combine the side effects of chemo treatments and regain their health.
The acupuncture helps relieve our backaches. I feel everyone comes here with their face scrunched and leaves relaxed and smiling.
Dr. Ye Ming-shen is the director of the Department of Traumatology in the traditional Chinese medicine field. He's been at the Dalian Tzu Chi Hospital since the first year it was established. Shortly after his arrival in Dalian, his father was diagnosed with stage 4 colorectal cancer and had only 3 months to live.
I had my son, so I wanted to treat him. Back then, traditional Chinese medicine did not venture into tumor treatment. It was simply something Western medicine treated. He was my father. Was I going to not do my best to help? I began researching up on tumors and energy medicine to treat tumors.
Thanks to Dr. Ye's dedication, his father's life was extended for over 10 years, and Dr. Ye also started a clinic in the TCM department to support cancer patients. Kim Go is one of Dr. Ye's patients and has been since 2011. He still remembers his chemo treatments like it was yesterday.
The chemo treatments went well, but that also means it was a difficult time. I was in the hospital for 41 days and my treatment was Western and Eastern medicine combined. Chinese medicine part was taken care of by Dr. Ye. When chemo treatments would start, Dr. Ye would see what Chinese medicine I need to take each day to heal. Because when the chemo is in, it's like your entire body is broken. TCM is there to replenish your 5 internal organs. When you receive chemo treatment, you're fatigued, but strangely after 2 or 3 weeks of taking TCM medicine, then I felt my energy coming back. So I feel like it's been very helpful to me. It works.
Mr. Gao was an acute lymphoma patient and he's been in remission for a few years. And right now, we're just treating him in maintaining his health levels. In the Chinese medicine, we're helping to stabilize and support his immune system so they do not cause a problem. But how do we know if it's stabilized? We can tell if he has a rash on his forehead or the stability of his heartbeat, rashes on his skin or pain in his muscles. That's how we can test whether the treatment is working, and we will adjust accordingly to help his health. After doing this year after year, his health can continue to be restored and maintained.
我建议说进行身体的调整，这样身体应该会比较好。那基本上在癌症的后续的调养，中医其实可以扮演。
Basically, traditional Chinese medicine can be a good supporter to help the patient to combat the symptoms of the chemo treatments, such as fatigue, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, or even maintaining red blood cell levels. We have very good ways to help them recover.
Malaysian-American Kim Go is married to a Taiwanese wife, and it was on their trip back to Taiwan 10 years ago that he was diagnosed with acute lymphoma. Getting treatment at the Darling Tzu Chi Hospital, he received both Western and Eastern medicine treatments, and he was able to recover from it quickly. He now returns to Taiwan from the U.S. every 3 months for his follow-ups.
He's very respectful to Dr. Ye, and whatever he prescribes, he won't forget to take it. He might forget to eat a meal, but he doesn't forget to take the medicine.
然后身体调得非常好。
His health has been very good. We take a 20-hour flight each time if we get a right connection flight. If sometimes we take a flight that doesn't connect right away, then it takes longer. One time it took us about 40 hours to get to Jiayi.
我们不觉得我们在奔波，应该说我们的生命是交给慈济，然后慈济。
It doesn't feel like we're traveling long distance because honestly we're putting our lives in Tzu Chi's hands. And Tzu Chi has cured my husband and given him and our family hope, so it doesn't seem tiring at all. The most important thing is that Dr. Ye and his medical team is filled with heart and compassion. We feel his care is very complete and warm. He gives his time selflessly, so every time we come back, it's like returning home.
We form affinity with our patients. We have only one goal in researching and continuing to work. It's that more people can benefit from it.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Indonesia hold regular study groups and community every week. This activity has moved online due to the epidemic. We leave you with these images. Thank you. Goodbye.